All right, guys, welcome to the second live show of El Mejor Inglés. I'm your host, Juan Morey. I'm an English teacher here in the Dominican Republic, and I welcome you to this second live show. We actually have a guest with us today. Her name is Carolina Herrera, and she is an advanced English student who I had the pleasure of, I invited her, and we have the pleasure of having her here on the show. So, Carolina, say hi.
Hi, hello.
All right, so she can speak English. All right, guys, so this is the second live show, and the first thing I want to do is introduce basically the main topic. The main topic for today is, do you need a native English speaker in order to practice or improve your English? We're going to be talking about that today, and I'll give you the short answer first after we start with the main topic. But, all right, so Carolina will be assisting me in reading some of the reasons of whether we do need a native speaker or whether you don't need a native speaker to practice your English. All right?
Okay.
So the main topic, again, you've had a lot of teachers in your life.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, I have a lot of teachers in my life.
Great. Well, as you can see, she's not nervous at all because she's full of confidence. So that's great. Well, again, the main topic was, or is, do you need a native English speaker in order to practice and improve your English? My short answer, Carolina, is that you don't.
I think that is the same. I think that you don't need a native speak English to speak a very well English. I think.
That's right. And we're going to be talking about some of the reasons why I think not. But that's the short answer. The short answer is you don't need to have an American or an English friend in order to help you improve and practice your English. So let's go over some of the reasons. Carolina, would you be so kind as to read the first reason?
Okay, of course. To build your speaking muscle, it doesn't matter who you speak to.
All right, so as long as you practice your speaking, it doesn't actually matter if you're speaking to a native speaker, if you're speaking to a friend who knows some English, or if you just talk to your flowers or your dog. As long as you're practicing and you know how to say things, the constant practicing and moving your speaking muscles will actually help you. So it's not necessary, you can't say, oh, I don't have a native English friend, so I really can't practice my English. I don't have anyone with. Practice with your partner, practice with your friends, it doesn't matter. Speak, all right? Now let's look at the second reason. Thank you.
Speaking for practicing, what do you already know?
All right, so when you go to class, you learn new things,
Yes,
right? You learn
of
new
course.
grammar and new things. And then the practice, the speaking part is just practicing these things. You know them, but you need to get better with them. You need to put them together here in your head and then take them out. So basically, practice is, speaking is for practicing what you already know from the class, not for learning something new. But you can learn new things when speaking. Now let's look at the third reason.
The third is conversation is best when equal.
Conversation is best when equal, guys. That means equal levels, okay? So if you are an advanced English speaker, you should try to get someone who is at least at your level so that they can understand you and you can understand them, right? So you have common things to talk about, right? Also, that could be talking about culture, that could be talking about a lot of different things, but basically, as long as you have an equal level of knowledge, culture, and also speaking level, it'll be good.
Yeah.
Number 4, what do you think?
You speak less when you are uncomfortable or don't understand.
Are you uncomfortable right now?
No.
No?
No.
Great. All right, when you are in a comfortable environment, when you're with friends, when you are with other students who you know also make mistakes, right? If you know that they understand your mistakes, that they won't laugh at you, then you'll tend to talk more. You won't feel like, oh my God, I can't make any mistakes. If you're speaking with a native English speaker, you will feel that every mistake is judged, right? That they are judging you, that they're just waiting for a mistake. Hey, that's probably not true, but this is how you feel. So if you're with other students that are at your same level, then you're gonna feel like it's okay to make a mistake, and it's okay to just laugh a little bit and talk, and you will practice more.
Yes, of course.
What about number 5?
Speaking is about confidence, not perfection.
Okay, so very often, thank you, people say, no, I don't want to speak because I'm not too good and I'll make a lot of mistakes.
And I don't understand why, because if you talk more, you're going to improve your English.
Right. It doesn't matter if you make a mistake. Well, of course it matters if you make mistakes. If the other person doesn't understand you, that's bad. But it's okay to make mistakes. Like I said in the first video about the ultimate tips, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to know that you have these mistakes and to practice so you don't make them in the future. So don't be afraid of speaking and don't try to be perfect when you speak. Just speak a lot, okay?
Yes.
And then number 6, please.
Real conversation isn't the place for corrections.
All right, so imagine if you're talking with someone in your native language and every time you say something, they say, no, you said it wrong.
Yeah.
You're not going to get anywhere.
No.
You're not going to be able to talk. You're just going to be like, okay, what were we talking about? So if they're constantly correcting you, if you have a native speaker with you and they constantly correct you, you're not going to talk about anything. You're just going to talk about grammar and then
You
just
will be afraid every time.
Yeah, just go to class if you're going to talk about grammar. Talk about the things that you enjoy and they don't have to correct you. Just keep practicing and this will be good, right?
Yeah.
And then?
7, teaching is for learning.
No, teaching is learning.
It's learning, yeah.
Yeah. So teaching is learning. If you know a little more than the person next to you, and you actually teach them something, that means that you know what you're teaching, or you're going to learn what you're teaching. So if you have something new that you know more or less, and they know it but less than you, and you explain it to them, probably this will stick with you. You will learn this forever, and you will not forget it. Right? If you're telling someone, no, you don't say, I have 18 years. You have to say, I am 18, because in English, you have to use the verb to be. Oh, okay. And then maybe you will never make the same mistake again, hopefully.
Yeah.
So now, these are 7 reasons, thank you, Carolina. These are 7 reasons of why it doesn't have to be a native English speaker that you practice with. Now, I'm not saying that a non-native is better than a native. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I mean to say is that it doesn't have to be a native English speaker. You shouldn't make that excuse. You should definitely try to practice with whoever you can, and if you don't have anyone, talk to the flowers, talk to your dog, practice the English that you know. You talk with your dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so as long as you practice your muscle, it will develop. All right? Now, this was the main topic for today, so we're done with the main topic.
Okay.
And actually, we're going to go to some Q&A. So since this is a live show, let's actually check if there's any questions, all right? So if you open that, let's see if there's in the chat, all right? Which I believe you have to press play on this thing. Great. And then it goes into the chat. Do we have any questions, Ephraim? No, not yet. Okay, well, since we don't have any questions, we're going to move to the next thing at the moment. Should we move? All right, so why don't I mention, while we wait for some questions, the previous shows, right? Here in the live show, I want to remind you that we already have like 7 previous shows, including one other live show. Okay, we talked about liaisons. We had the dangerous liaisons, part 1, 2, and 3, about how to join words and increase your fluency in English. All right, we had that. And then we also had the ultimate tips on how you can finally improve your English. And these tips are really useful. There were 4 tips about how you can actually implement them to improve your English. What else did we have a video on? We have a bunch of videos, and I definitely invite you to check them out underneath in the YouTube channel. Go on Facebook and look at the past history and click on them. And if you have a comment, this is your time now to do it, or you can just leave a comment in one of these videos. All right, do we have any questions there? All right, start asking any time, guys, come on, all right? Now, what else can we talk about here? Carolina, how long have you been studying English?
I think a year and a half.
Only a year and a half?
Yeah, because when I start, I was in a high level in the school that I've been. And
okay, so you took a test and you
Yeah.
immediately went into a higher level.
Yeah, and
okay.
at this time, I was surprised because I thought that it was a bad thing for me, and
Okay.
hopefully it was good, and I finished, and I still practicing my English with you.
With me. Oh.
Yeah, because you are my friend.
All right. Well, has English been useful to you?
Yeah, very useful because I have 3 kids, and they are going in a bilingual school, so the homeworks are in English. So I need to help them to making the homeworks and all the things.
I also
for school.
okay, and I understand that your dog speaks English.
No.
No?
No.
Don't you say sit and stop?
Yeah, that these words only, but he understands these kind of things. But I always speak with him in Spanish.
Oh.
Only two words are in English that he need to do it.
So he's bilingual.
Yeah, I think because he's one of my kids too. I have 4 kids at the moment.
All right. So let me see if we have any questions right now. We are live, so we don't have any questions yet. I think. All right. So let's go ahead and look at. Do we have to cut to commercials yet? Not yet. Okay. So we're just continuing. All right. So let me ask you one other thing. What was my question that I was going to ask you? All right. The next question? All right, so what we're going to do is move on to the expression of the day. And the expression of the day that we have is caught short. All right, so I think for this show right now, we're caught short on questions. What does caught short actually mean? Imagine that you're going to buy something, I don't know, at a pastry shop, right? And you say, okay, give me a coffee and give me a wine. But when you check your money, you actually don't have enough to pay both things. Okay, so
Too bad.
this expression is exactly for this. Caught short means when you don't have enough to cover all of your expenses. All right, so this can be very embarrassing, but it can happen to anyone. You thought you had X amount and you don't have it. So this also happens in companies. When you don't have enough to cover your expenses, the company's funds have been cut short, right? So you're caught short, so they catch you with a short amount of money, and this can be a real problem. So don't let your company be caught short.
No, of course not.
Or your English skills, don't let them be caught short. Keep practicing so that you improve
Every
them.
time for improve your English, you need to read books and talk every time with everybody. So it doesn't matter if it is at your level or not, but the thing is practicing. Practicing and practicing. all the
That's
day.
right. The 7 reasons that we went over, just to do a small recap, the 7 reasons that we talked about today are very applicable, and they are good reasons why you don't have to make an excuse about not having a native speaker with you. Even if it's, I don't know, somebody from Venezuela and you can tell that they don't speak English as their first language, it doesn't matter. You can still practice your English with them because of the following 7 reasons, right? Number 1, to build your speaking muscle, you just need to use it, right? What was number 2?
Speaking is for practicing what you already know.
Okay, you're not learning new things, you're trying to practice what you already know. Number 3 is that conversation is best when it's equal, right, with someone that is at your level. If you're with a native speaker and they're always using difficult language, you're not going to understand them.
Nothing.
And number 4, you're not going to be comfortable, right? That's reason number 4 for not always using a native speaker. If you're not comfortable with a native speaker because they know more than you, you're not going to speak with them. Number 5 says speaking is about confidence and not perfection. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Number 6 is that real conversation isn't the place for corrections. You're not supposed to get corrected every 5 seconds.
No.
You're not going to talk about anything. And then number 7, teaching is learning. If you get the chance to help your children with the homework, or if you get the chance to teach someone else a little bit of English, this will actually help you a lot. So definitely. Now, I do want to, what's that?
For me, it's good.
Yeah, for doing the homework with
When
your children.
I speak with you,
Uh-huh.
I am very comfortable.
Well, that's one thing. I'm not a native speaker, so I know Spanish, and I know a lot of the mistakes that students are going to make even before they make them. So this kind of helps me. This is, I guess, one advantage that a native speaker doesn't have. They don't really know the other language, maybe, and they don't know what mistakes to expect sometimes, and they might not know how to go correcting them. They might not understand why you're making these mistakes. Now, there is one thing I want to mention. It's definitely a message from our sponsor. Now, what school did you go to?
Progressive English.
Yeah, you feel it was a good school?
Yeah, very good school.
Guys, I can't think of a better place to recommend than Progressive English, right? I teach there, and they were nice enough to sponsor this show when it was just beginning, like baby cycles until it grows up. Progressive English is one of the best institutes that you can send your people to. So a little bit in Spanish here. Si usted tiene una persona que necesita mejorar su inglés, usted debería, y le recomiendo que los envíe a Progressive English. Usted puede contactar a Progressive English en los teléfonos 809-732-5150 o visitar su página en ps.com.do, creo que sí. O puede ver el enlace que está aquí debajo en la descripción. Okay, so if you don't know where the school is, check out the description because there's a link down in the description and you'll be able to guide people who you think need to improve their English there. Just be nice about it, all right? They probably are afraid of making mistakes.
Yeah.
So let me see if we have any questions here. Oh, all right. Hi, Rafael. Any question or comment? Rafael Enrique Medina. I think I know him. Do I know you? Not sure if I know you. But let's see if he has any questions. If he doesn't, let me go to something else. All right, well, in case no questions pop up, I want to definitely thank the people who are watching right now. Okay, if you are watching us right now, thank you very much for being there. No thanks for not posting questions because I know you're there. Some of you are there. But I definitely do thank you for being here at the moment. We're not finishing, so don't go away yet. But I just want to say thanks for watching the show. I know you're just afraid to make comments. And definitely subscribe so you don't miss any other future live shows. Do you watch the shows sometimes?
Yes.
Have you ever seen a live show?
Yes.
When?
Your show.
No, the live show. I mean, have you seen it? You've never seen a live show because the first one, we had a couple of technical glitches and also some people, they didn't know. You know, when it's a live show, you have to click on the link again after the show started so that you can actually see it. This is a YouTube thing. It's not our fault. So if you do get a chance, the next class, the next live show, you can be there and ask me a ton of questions.
Okay.
You're gonna do that for me, right?
Yeah, of course.
Even if it's their fake questions. No, we don't do any fake questions.
No.
Because there are people out there who really have a need to improve their English because it's important for their job, for their kids, or even for their own education, all right, or maybe curiosity. So we are waiting for the real questions in case you have any. Let me see here.
Okay. We have a question.
We do have a question.
Yeah. Hello. How are you, dears? Need to know about conditional.
Conditional type 0, type 1. I don't understand that. Okay, that's not so funny. I mean, conditional type 1, what does that even mean? But I will try to help you. There are there are 3 conditionals as far as I know. There's type 1, 2, and 3. The first conditional is about present or possibly real things. For example, if you say, if you call me, I'll go to your party.
Okay.
Right? So you say, for example, if I call you, then you will come to my party. So that's what type number 1 is. If it's something is possibly real. It's something that could happen. Like, if you put your car on sale, I will buy it. This is something that is real, right?
Yes.
Now, because she said types 0 and type 1. I believe it's type 1 and type 2 and 3 also. But anyways, the second type of conditional is when something is not possible and it's not real, right? For example, I would say, you know, Carolina, if I were a woman, I would definitely hate the Dominican men because they are
Why?
machistas.
Yeah, a little bit.
But
so you need to know a lot of men to.
Okay. I know, anyways. Type number 2 conditional is something that is not real, right? If it's impossible that I were a woman because I'm a man. Okay, well, I know people can change nowadays, but the grammar basically means that since something is impossible, this becomes a type 2, right? For example, you're late for a meeting and then they fire you. And so you say, God, hey, if you were not late for meetings, we wouldn't have to fire you. Well, you were already late. You can't change the past, at least not yet. So this is a type 2 conditional because you're talking about something not real. There's also type number 3, but since you didn't ask, should I give her type number 3?
Yeah.
It's about regret, when you're sorry about something. For example, you're late for a job interview and they don't hire you because of this, right? They tell you, hey, you were the only one, but we didn't hire you because you were late. If you hadn't been late, they would have hired you. So you feel regret that you were late. These are the 3 types of conditionals. So I hope that answers your question. Don't understand that. Oh, okay, so greetings from the Dominican Republic to Emily and Anderle. We are watching. Awesome, thank you very much. Yeah, so what's her name? Emily Natalia says
Sanchez.
Hello. Oh, Emily Sanchez says hello to Anderle and Emily. All right, thank you very much for watching. And Rafael says thumbs up. Hey, thank you for your comment and for your thumbs ups. All right, we're here for you when you do have some questions. By the way, when did the whole thumbs up thing become? What does thumbs up even mean?
That is good.
It means something is good?
Yeah.
But what else do you use your thumb for?
Maybe to.
For hitching a ride. I don't know what you were thinking, but I was thinking about cars. And you know, when you're on the side of the road and you're doing like this.
When I use this for a conversation, is do whatever you want. I don't care.
Really?
Yes.
That's called passive aggressive. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Not is always good. No.
Yeah, so please don't get into passive aggressive arguments with people because they are not, that's not nice. So how has your experience been so far with the live show now that it's almost over?
Yeah, for me, it's a good experience, and I feel very good here. And I hope that the show continues for more and more than months and years.
Yeah, well, I want to thank you personally very much for coming to help me with the live show and for being a guest here. For your husband for accompanying you, he's off camera, and for Efrain, who's behind cameras, making sure that everything works. That's 2 thumbs up from him. All right, guys, so thank you very much for being there and for watching and for sending us the questions. I hope that I answered everything to your satisfaction. You guys have a great evening, and see you next time. All right, don't forget to subscribe and leave lots of comments.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. You can say hi to Bruno.